Yeah, I
But
mean,
again,
I guess,
go
I
ahead.
guess it just like it just comes back to this is that I'm not even a policymaker. I've never been in government. I am, intrigued in
But you've worked at a
and by.
policy think tank.
Hmm?
You've worked
Yeah,
at
I
a
did.
policy
Sure.
think tank.
I mean, look at the kind of stuff that I was writing there. Basically, I mean, we did work on trying to cobble together, some sort of alternative to European bumbling in the Balkans. But a lot of the stuff I wrote was just sort of, I don't know, pointing out how foolish and idealistic the Europeans are in this, and unable to approach things in a much sort of grittier and nastier, and quite frankly, dealing with nasty regimes as partners rather than as pariahs. Yeah, I mean, that is what I did at the think tank, which is like, let's see what can be done and not worry about the best thing that should be done.
So you do want things to be done.
It's very complicated how I ended up like basically at these positions, largely that were dictated by, levels higher up of like what line I should be defending. But, I could write myself into a defense of a certain kind of policy, sure.
So now you're saying you didn't really believe in the things that you were coming
I will
at.
say that, I mean, and I said it before, I found it very challenging, as a Croat working with, like the legacy of the wars there, and yet like coming up with very, creative ways to try and bring Serbia, which has not come to terms with, history in a lot of this stuff. So on a personal level, I was conflicted. On the professional level, I was all in and trying to sort of make this stuff work. Didn't work in the end. It was interesting. And quite frankly, it was fascinating 2.5, 3 years of my life actually interacting with people on that level. People who, again, are far,
What do you
far
want your
from
legacy
paragons.
to be? What do you want your legacy to be?
I don't care.
How do you want to be
not care.
remembered when you die?
I don't care. Like, I'll be dead. I really do not care.
But presumably some people will still read your writing and listen to some of your podcasts, inevitably.
I've said this before. It's not why I write. Like, I
understand, but I get that's not why you write. But people will read what you've written. Maybe not huge numbers, I don't know.
I think of it as like a slug trail I leave behind myself.
But what do you want them to get out of your writing? Let's say someone goes back and what do you
No, it's Shadi. Basically, it's anytime I write something, sometimes it's because there's a deadline and needs to be written, but and I've committed to write like a Tuesday note every X number of weeks. So I really do think of it as like snapshots in time of like where my head is at. It really is that. There's no like bigger project. Never has been a bigger project. I'm always just trying to sort of work this stuff out. It's pretty solipsistic, actually.
When you say solipsistic, what do you mean exactly?
I don't care about the reader. I'm just working shit out in my head. I just really could not care less.
So you're trying to tell me that you're indifferent to what the reader takes from your writing?
I'm not going to say that I don't like people like reading it and then reacting to it. I think that's interesting, and then I learn stuff from it, and I communicate. I'm not fully autistic and sociopathic, psychopathic that like the world doesn't exist. I admit that the world exists, but when I'm writing, I'm not writing for my legacy and to change the world.
I know you're not
Absolutely
writing for
not.
it, but I'm just saying that what do you want people to get out of your writing
I
after
think
the fact?
what I'm trying to do as best I can at any one point is be honest. And so, quite frankly,
Why?
it's interesting
Why? What's
sometimes
so
for
important
me
about
to
being
read
honest?
my own stuff, which I never do, to figure
Okay.
out where I was at any one point.
But why? But why is that so important to you or so interesting? Why do you, what's this value of honesty that you've now introduced at the very end here?
I don't know. I'm not saying it's a value of honesty. I'm saying I'm just trying to figure out like what I think about any one
But
thing
why
at any
is
one
that
time.
important? Why is that relevant? Why does it matter?
Not to change the world, Shadi. To
Okay, but I'm
figure out what's
asking
going
you.
on in my head. Basically, is what it comes
What?
down to. That's like what's going on in my head at any one point.
But
Like,
why
what are
do you
pushing
feel
me
you have
for?
to
What do you
share
want?
that with the world?
I don't know. It's like it's how I make my money. There's the only way.
Okay,
I
so
need
it's
to
a
put,
job.
I need to put food in my mouth.
Okay, so that's really what it comes down to for you? That it's a job?
I don't know. It's fun to do. It's fun to write. I like writing.
It's fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, am I like? But again, no. Do you think I'm trying to change the world with my writing?
No.
Do you think like I have like
Obviously, you're not.
a vision
You've been
and a
saying
goal?
that for a while now, and you said that I guess for years in one way or another that you don't want to change the world.
Yeah, and this is horrifying.
No,
Or
I didn't say it's
puzzling.
horrifying.
Or
I
I'm
think that you're
lying.
not. I wonder if you're being fully honest about what's going on, or you don't want to face that you do actually have preferences.
Yeah, maybe.